Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know who you are. So this is very fascinating to talk to you. No, I am so grateful that I'm being able to talk to a dear friend of mine. It was very fun to research you and scary too, because it felt odd. It felt very odd. But as someone that has 5 studio albums,
Yes.
toured for years and continues to create, what keeps you creatively stimulated? How do you keep things interesting for yourself?
Engaging with other art, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not to reduce a person to like a machine, but like there is an input-output cycle.
Yes.
And I feel like I've always been really committed to, just as a person, a lot of the input.
Yes.
Like I really enjoy, as you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, books and films and music. And like, I'm out at a lot of shows. Like I still go to a lot of shows
Yes.
and see theater, go to museums, like these kinds of things. Like I do think, I really think if you talk to anybody who makes art, usually what inspires them is that they saw some other art and they're like, oh dude, I want to make something like that.
Yes.
And I don't think that goes away.
Yes.
So I remain a viewer, a reader, whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like I see things and then I'm like, oh, I want to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about like that nourishing that like eternal flame of dialogue with other art.
Yeah. I also think you do a great job, even if you would technically be like at the top of your class, you do remain a student, you know, always eager to learn and find out the new things. And
when you're only in a room of your own thoughts, it's very uninspiring. Ask anybody who's doing that kind of like, you know, deep self-obsession type thing. It's not an exciting place to be.
Yes.
And so I think just like remaining in the world, remaining curious.
Yeah.
And really like keeping that childlike joy alive.
Yeah.
You know, just like letting loose and I don't know, being set free by things.
Yes. I also love that you created this space for creativity.
Thank you.
I think that having a space to go to, I think makes a big difference too, especially when you're able to record yourself and create and all the things. When I was telling you that there was a side of this that felt a little bit more difficult than other conversations I've had is because I feel like I've been so honored to be along the journey with you. I'm also aware that some people listening may not know the whole story. And I was curious if you'd be open to chatting about what happened in 2022 and waking up that day. And and I wanted to know where you're at with it today.
Yeah, so the condensed version is that I woke up 3 years ago, suddenly deaf in my right ear, and originally assumed I had something in my ear. You know, like the mind doesn't go to like, oh, you've gone deaf for no reason.
Of course.
But that is what happened. I did a bunch of treatments. Sometimes people respond well to, you do these like steroid shots.
Right.
Like, through your eardrum and whatever. Nothing helped. And so the doctors were like, okay, you're deaf in that ear. And so I then was navigating this period of time where I didn't have hearing, but I did have really bad tinnitus.
Yes.
So I've kind of described this like a phantom limb phenomenon.
Yeah.
So if you go deaf later in your life, meaning like once your brain has developed with binaural hearing, when your other ear hears sound, your brain will produce a sound in the deaf ear because it's like, oh, we're hearing. There's sound.
My God.
So it was kind of this, and you know how loud our world is, not just in the studio, but like on tour, like the decibel count of like a tour bus, it's really loud. It's very loud.
Yes.
And so this tinnitus was crazy and kind of like driving me insane and whatever. Of course. So 3 months ago, I got a cochlear implant, as you know.
Yeah.
And that kind of serves like 2 purposes, ideally for me. One is the hope that like giving my brain input on that side reduces the tinnitus.
Right.
Which it has. It's not gone.
Yeah.
But it's better.
Okay.
And like in situations, typically like if I were at a house party or a dinner party or a show, the tinnitus would be so loud. I almost couldn't even hear out of my good ear because that was so loud. You know what I mean?
Literally hell.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yes.
Like, it's just a very neurologically, experientially, a really kind of like overwhelming thing. So part one is to reduce that. Yeah. And it has done that. Yeah. You know, of course, and I can pontificate about this forever, but there's no cure, right? We're always looking for like these cures in life. Like if I do this, well then I'll be. It's like, well, I got this. Right. Nothing is cured. So the tinnitus is better. And then the other thing is like I do all this audio rehab. Right. And it can hopefully make my ability to hear people, particularly when they're on my right side, better. Yeah. So I'm doing all this training where you can stream Bluetooth. There's an attachment for these things. And I stream like podcasts and TV shows and books and whatever. And then I read it alongside. So I'm like retraining my brain to understand speech and whatever. So it's pretty wacky. But I'm doing pretty good with it. Yeah. And so that's pretty much the journey, was this initial period of like figuring out what was going on, doing everything I could. Yeah. And then when the doctor's like, there's nothing left to do, then it was just like acceptance, adjustment. Yes, right. Do you feel like you went through the stages of grief in this process, or are you still going through them? I don't know. I think I have moments of grief for like the ease of my former life. Yes. Particularly when it pertains to social situations. Yeah. Like, you know me, I'm like love to yap. Yeah. And can kind of be thrown into like, I'm at some house party or whatever, like let me just shoot the shit with these like strangers kind of thing. That ability to banter in that way, which I know sounds like a very small thing to lose. No, it's a big thing that brings you joy and is a part of who you are. And like kind of part of my identity in certain ways is like, if I'm like the ultimate plus one, right? Like, yeah, bring me anywhere. Yes. Like, yes. The ease and comfort of that / my ability to do that was gone. And I'm already intense in a lot of ways. And it's kind of made me more intense. Because at a party now, like I kind of have to just like focus in on a couple people and be like, bro, I can't really hear. Yeah. You down to just like do this? Yeah. You down to get into it for 30 minutes with me? Right. And people invariably are like, oh my God, yes, because they're anxious at a party and they don't want to deal with like socializing with a million people. Yes. But then I get into some like crazy deep conversation with them. Yes. Instead of just being able to like shoot the shit. Yes, and you are very good at that, because I went to a house party with you, and I remember seeing you work the room in a very particular way, and you know I of course was too. And so that was like great that we both were in our element. But anyways, I turned to you at one point and I was like, should we head home? And you were like, head home? You want to head home? And I was like, no. No. And like you very sweetly connected me with like a lovely person who drove me home, you know, whatever. Yes. But I will say I don't know if this is like funny by any means, but it is interesting because something about you is you are very magnetic. I was in a social setup with you the other day. You said, I'm going to step outside. And it was really unintentionally funny, but the people that we were with didn't know. And so they were like, oh, thank goodness, we'll join you. I'm like, no, get away from me. It was like a crowd of like 6 people that then surrounded you. And then, you know, so I could imagine navigating that. Yeah. And by the way, you still worked the room, but I would imagine that even just like taking breaks from the socializing like isn't natural for you. Yeah. It's an adjustment. It's just a lot. It's just this loss of like an ease.
Yes.
You know, and so I think I have moments where that hits, but we've discussed this too. Like, I think I was so tooled up when this happened that I had a lot of like, I was able to just move through it in a way that if it had happened to me 10 years before or whatever, I just wouldn't have.
Right.
So I felt pretty equipped.
Yeah.
So it's been, definitely been sad at times, but I saw a documentary right after it happened, and it was about Michael Schumacher, the Formula One driver.
Yes.
And who, right after he retired, he'd had this like amazing career, and right after he retired, he was like, I'm retiring to spend time with my family. And then immediately got in this like horrible skiing accident and was like in a vegetative state. Basically like just a heinous thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. And they're interviewing his wife, and they're like, are you ever like, you know, like mad or like, why did this happen to you kind of thing? And she's like, well, if it didn't happen to us, it happened to someone else.
Oof.
You know, and I feel that way. Like there's a statistical component to like this life, you know? And it's like, I wouldn't wish this on someone else.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, it's like, then I accept it for myself. So I feel like that's been kind of like a
driving force,
a good guiding light.
Yeah.
Yes. So shout out that documentary.
I know. Wow.
It's quite good.
Yeah. I need to see it.
You know, I love a sports doc.
I do too.
Oh, I mean, what's your favorite sports doc?
I love The Last Dance.
Well, you should watch the new Cowboys one.
Really?
It's very similar.
Okay, I know. I heard you talking about it.
It's really good.
Just like muttering to yourself. It was weird over there. Yeah. I also love this.
No
I love
one
this.
else here.
Yeah, exactly.
No
yeah.
one else in the room.
Exactly. I love the Serena Williams one too.
Yes.
Kind of wild.
The
yeah.
HBO one?
Yes. I've kind of watched all those ones.
Sarah and I have gotten into the like NFL like receiver and quarterback series.
Oh yeah, is it good?
The new season of quarterback was good this season.
Okay.
Receiver is also good. First season of quarterback is not that good.
Okay, I need to see it. It also makes me feel as though I'm working out while watching them train.
Totally.
So I'm like, woo, I've done a lot today. So, I mean, I do want to include this statistic because I feel like it's worth including. I don't like using the word like disabled or disabling.
Yeah.
This statistic has that verbiage, but it says more than 5% of the world's population, that's around 430 million people, have disabling hearing loss. What do you wish? The question isn't part of the statistic. Okay. So keep up. Okay.
Got it.
So that was this
brain's moving real slow. Yeah.
So that was the statistic. Now my question is, based off of your journey, everything we've discussed, what do you wish more people knew about the community that you're now a part of?
Well, I think two things that it's not an exact answer to your question.
Okay.
But I think the first is, in terms of disability, something that I wish we used as a kind of framework in our society is that disability is a identity or a state that often people move in and out of. So most of us will experience varying degrees of disability throughout our life.
Right.
And I think growing up, you are taught sort of one monolithic version of what disability looks like.
Yes.
And there are so many people who are in different conditions of disability, visible and invisible. And I wish we as a world and as a society had a bit more of an expansive view of that, because I think it also puts us all a little bit more in touch with how disability kind of informs everybody's life.
Totally.
Even if you have like something as small as you break your arm.
Right.
For a period, you're moving through disability.
Right.
And you're actually now interacting with how this world is not built for you.
Yes.
And most of us in our families, we have people, congenitally, randomly, or due to age, who are dealing with disability.
Yes.
So I think just kind of like expanding the view of that.
Yeah.
And it's partially why, like, personally, I'm cool with the term disabled, because like I don't see it as like having any kind of negative connotation.
Right.
I think the second thing, and it's also related to that, as it pertains to hearing, because I've been really vocal about my hearing loss. All these people are telling me about their hearing loss, but they don't tell anyone else. These are young people.
Oh,
it's very stigmatized, especially for young people, and I don't think I was aware of that. Maybe because it's also associated with old age, right? And there's perhaps like, I don't know if there's something in that.
Yeah.
I guess the thing that I would want people to know is that, yes, you're reading this statistic. It is very common. It is very common. Like, it's out there. And so many people, like, I'm talking about my tinnitus. I can't even tell you how many people, not musicians, like, just people are like, oh my gosh, I have crazy tinnitus. Right. I'm dealing with this. I have hearing loss. I went to a show one time and now I've lost, whatever, like all my top end in my left ear or whatever. Like, it's out there. So if you are dealing with hearing loss, like, this is it's so part of the human experience.
Yes.
We live in a really, really intense, noisy world, and people suffer hearing loss for so many different reasons. And a lot of people have like traumatic incidents that lead to hearing loss. And so,
I didn't know that.
Like traumatic incidents of noise or car crashes or head injury. Oh my
God. Right.
It's just really common.
Yeah.
So I think, cheesy as it is to say, like, you're not alone. I mean, it's really everywhere. And also I would like to say, it is really challenging. Hearing is, we have a world built on hearing.
Right.
And so it's hard to like deal with your hearing being altered.
Yeah. I also do appreciate that as all of this was going on, you were actively touring. People that have seen you perform know that you are really low energy. Are really high energy. And in fact, there's a moment in the show where you will you're completely upside down and you're kicking your legs up in the air like a lunatic. I do think that is I'm so glad that you did it. Because I know how hard it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. But just what it represents of like, you can do it.
Totally.
But I know that it was a challenge, but I'm just so grateful that like, that all the young people that you were talking about reaching out to you, and people that are not young, but like people that are reaching out to you, I think that would, and you don't even have to respond to this, but I think that would be really inspirational to be able to see someone doing what they love, and for it to come across, even if it's not the full story, but even for it to even for an hour-long show, it comes across as freedom. It comes across as having ease with what's going on.
Totally. Yeah. I think the other thing, just to piggyback off that, is part of the hearing loss was further relinquishing. I think for me, it's something I'm doing as I continue to like live in this world, and I feel like you probably feel the same way, of like how it's supposed to go. Right. Like we can grow attached to our ways of being in the world. Yeah. Our kind of like our path as we see it, whatever. Yeah. We build these narratives or we build these expectations, and then we develop attachment. Of course, the key to life is non-attachment. Right. It's intention without attachment, which is a really hard balance to strike. But I think losing my hearing and then being like, okay, well, now the show is different. Now I do this. Now I have to like let go of how I did it. Yes. Well, it turns out it's fine. Mm-hmm. Turns out it's maybe better. But at least you tried. Like, I think that's the most significant, is like trying it. Totally. Yeah. And finding a new path, like whatever that may be. Yeah. So I think that there's utility in disruption and loss in that it breaks you out of those things. Right. Something that I love about you is that you are a lunatic in the best way. And one of the wild things you did is you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro successfully. Mm-hmm. Successfully. Yeah, you did. Throwing up all the way. Yeah. Not all the way. Throwing up for... intractably vomiting for 36 hours. It's a long time to be throwing up. It's longer than like how long I threw up like with like childbirth.
What advice do you have for anyone interested?
My advice for anybody interested in climbing Mount Kilimanjaro would be to do it with someone who has a great sense of humor.
Oh, that's great.
I did it.
Why didn't you invite me? Okay. It's fine. No. Who did, just shout out who you invited. Top comedian, hiker.
I would do it with someone who has a great sense of humor and who has a really high tolerance for discomfort, physical discomfort.
Yeah.
And so I did it with my friend Sam, who fits both of those bills. And man, when I tell you, we were just laughing our way up that freaking thing.
Really?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You go past like 14,000 feet or whatever. The human body isn't made to be up there. There's no birds up there. There's no plants. Like there's no life up there.
Yes.
It's not an area made for life.
Yes.
So there is a delightful clownish humanness to being like, I'm going to keep going up.
Yeah. Right.
Just to see what it's like at the top. Despite like people being very sick, a person in our group like blacked out and didn't even remember getting up there. Like your brain isn't functioning.
I also loved that there was such a variety of people in your group.
Yes.
A bunch of different ages.
We had a very motley crew. We had like age range from like 13 to 60 in our group.
13?
13. We had a young boy and his father.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like a kid.
I don't remember that. I don't remember you telling me that. Wow.
So there were 7 of us, and like just a really mixed group. But yeah, I think my advice would be pick a partner who shares your sensibility.
Yeah.
And the best people to move through difficult things with are people with great senses of humor.
Yes.
So like as we're at the top and like literally having diarrhea like off the side at the top of this thing, vomiting, like everybody's so sick. We're just laughing. I mean, it was funny.
It sounds like you guys were unwell.
We were unwell, but it was yeah, I think it's an adventure. Lots of people do it.
Are you glad you did it?
Oh yeah.
It was a bucket list item for you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And it was really fun. I hadn't been to Africa before, and so I stayed a little bit in Tanzania afterwards. So I got a chance to do some exploring. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And it felt, to your point about labor, I was describing the experience to my sister, and she was like, it's weird. It kind of sounds like labor. And I was like, I actually had that thought as I was going through it, because like, I may never go and probably will not be going into labor. And so it did give me a moment not to liken it, but because I got so sick, where I felt connected to like all these women in my life going through this insane experience.
I think that's like the least offensive comparison.
Yeah.
You hear so many people like,
totally. But like,
say things.
I when my sister said that, I was like, it felt just a little glimpse into kind of maybe that insane gauntlet that all these people that I love have gone through.
I also wonder if you had a similar after effect, which was you kind of feel super empowered after and you're like, you won't believe what I did 2 days ago. Like I'm walking around like that didn't happen.
I think physical challenges are a really good way to just bolster personal power.
Yes.
Which is like, I feel like I talk about that a lot, but like, it's good to do hard things and then just like, I don't know, get through it.
Right.
And also like not make it, your personality.
Yes.
Like
yes.
You could just, the good thing was I went deaf a few weeks after. So like nobody even remembers. I like never talk about it. Nobody ever asks me. No one remembers. 'Cause like this other weird thing happened right away.
I definitely did do like the making it my personality. Like someone would be like, oh, like I love your home. And I was like, oh, I had a baby over there. You see that bed? I definitely did that.
Well, I think having a child is a little bit different from climbing a mountain. But
well, it was specifically the home birth that I really honed in on.
Yeah, but I think I guess what I mean is like it's cool to do things kind of just for you.
That's what I was gonna say. You
like,
are cooler
live
than
in
me.
that.
Yes. Exactly. So perfect. Let me just make a note of that. You feel you're cooler than me. Perfect.
The cap's on.
Yeah, exactly. We all have our different ways. You have to be open. Yeah. So the last question I have for you, based off of everything we've spoken about, the thing that I feel so inspired in listening to you is always about your headspace and your positivity and your outlook. How do you maintain that? And when you waver, if you ever waver, if you're not a robot, that's the kind of bigger question. Hey, are you?
I'm bionic now.
I know.
I am kind of
You
robot.
are.
Side note.
Yeah. I love you speaking direct. Yeah.
A cochlear implant involves they open up your skull and they put a metal plate, like a little circular plate, and then an electrode in your cochlea. So I have like, my sister, actually, we put a kitchen magnet on my head. I mean, I'm like fully.
And also, a fun fact about you is that you have children take it off and then see it go back.
A lot of young children. Not my own children, but all my nephews and godkids and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, putting it's a nice party trick for the under 8 crowd.
Yes.
They really love it.
But yeah, do you ever have, do you ever waver in that positivity, and how do you get back to it? Like, what's your sort of center point?
Yeah.
What are your tools, I guess?
I do, of course I waver. I'd say I waver less as I get older. Again, probably just because my systems of like recalibration are better.
Yeah.
A little more honed. But I think I do 3 things. My 3 main tools are, number 1, I talk to people in my life. I just reach out. Not even to be like, I'm having a hard time, but just hear about their life.
Yes.
You know, I think so much of mental health, good mental health, is about getting outside of yourself. I think we're kind of living in a moment where it's like, no, keep digging deeper. I'm like, no, don't. Like, talk to someone else. See what's happening in their life. Like, too much navel gazing will actually, I think, entrench you more deeply in like your despair. So that would be number 1, just like reaching out to people, talking to people, understanding the size of the world.
Yes.
That is very helpful to me. And those perspectives and those conversations always bring insight and peace and community and like lack of feeling alone or whatever. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is engaging with art. Like reading a book. Guarantee you that person was just as lonely and depressed and mentally ill as you might feel.
Right.
And that experience as well, it's similar. It connects me with somebody else who's been going through something, but it's also a reminder that out of the ashes of those fires, you can make something really cool. You can make something.
Yes.
And then like the chain of whatever.
Yes.
And then the third thing is walking. Just walking around. I was
you have a quick pace. Your pace is quickened.
I was saying to you, because you live where I in the neighborhood where I used to live. Yeah. And when I lived in that house, I went through a bad breakup at that time. And I really think for 1 calendar year, if you were to ask me like, oh, what'd you do that year? I mean, I put out music and I walked. I literally walked.
They say that the impact of, sorry to interrupt you.
No, not at all.
I'm about to buy like second coffee, so it's just there's a lot going on. But they say that the impact of walking, it changes your mental state within 30 seconds.
I believe that. I completely
30 seconds. So people are like, oh, I don't want to go on a hour-long walk. It's like, just start the walk. Yeah. And you've already like done such a great job.
All 3 of these things, and I think what a walk does is it puts you in touch with the world as well. But all of these things get you outside of yourself. Yeah. And connect you to experiences that are happening in your world. Yeah. And I think that for me, that's how I stay positive. It also helps me remember that I'm a part of a community and I play a role in other people's lives. Yes. And so maybe my whatever turmoil I'm going through, yes, that can coexist alongside, hey, I'm important to this person. Right. In a small or a big way. It doesn't even really matter. And back to the Kilimanjaro of it all. Walking, these things, like going for a walk, you feel good. You feel good after. Yeah. there's an energy. It's a type of activity that generates versus depletes. And
yes.
Yes, I love walking. I mean, really, I feel like that was how I like just stayed on the straight and narrow. Like,
yeah. Okay. Well, you sound pretty obsessed. No, I'm joking. No, I love
to
that.
walk.
No,
and it's such a great neighborhood to walk in.
It is. It's such a great neighborhood. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And
a pleasure, a delight.
I truly love you.
I love you too. Thanks for coming to the spot.
Thank you.
The wooded, the plywood.
Yes.
Plywood paradise.
It looks so good.
Maybe that's what I'll call it.
Well, I will call this episode I Love Walking.
I love walking.
Okay, great.